Welcome to Bizarre Blueprint. Like and subscribe for more bizarre stories. In 2019, a small group of users on Reddit started noticing something weird. There was this one user who had been active for years, popping up in dozens of different forums. Tech forums, travel forums, photography communities. You name it. His username was always some variation of Thomas Vale. He seemed like a completely normal guy, posting regular things. He'd give out camera advice, share stories about his hiking trips, and post the occasional life update. Nothing out of the ordinary, but one day, every single one of his posts started disappearing. At first, nobody really thought much of it. People delete their accounts all the time, right? But what made this situation strange was the sheer scale of it. We're talking about thousands of posts, hundreds of different accounts, all gone. And the deletions weren't just happening on Reddit. They were happening everywhere, all at the same time. Old forums, photography sites, even obscure message boards from the early 2000s that most people had forgotten about. It was as if someone was systematically, and with extreme prejudice, erasing every trace of this person from the internet. This raised a pretty strange question. How do you even find all your posts from the past 20 years? Think about it. Most of us probably wouldn't remember half the accounts we've ever made, let alone every single comment. But whoever was deleting these posts, they knew exactly where everything was. It was a digital ghost hunt, and the ghost was erasing its own tracks. One curious Reddit user decided to dig a little deeper, and that's when things went from strange to downright bizarre. It turned out that some of Thomas Vale's posts weren't just being deleted. They were being edited first. Old comments from 10, even 15 years ago, had been changed. Instead of the original normal text, they now said things like, "Please disregard previous statements," or even more cryptically, "This information is no longer accurate." It got even weirder. Some of the posts were replaced with nothing but a string of numbers, coordinates, latitude and longitude, pointing to locations all over the world: Canada, Norway, Japan, Arizona. No one could figure out what they meant or what connected them. It was a global scavenger hunt with no prize in sight. Driven by curiosity, users started plugging these coordinates into Google Maps. Most of them pointed to completely random, unremarkable places. A stretch of highway, or remote mountain peak, an empty patch of forest. But one coordinate was different. It pointed to somewhere unusual: a small, abandoned building just outside of Flagstaff, Arizona. And this is where the story takes a turn into the truly strange. Because one Reddit user claimed they actually went there. They drove out to the coordinates to see what they could find. According to their post, the building looked like an old, dilapidated weather station. It had boarded up windows, faded paint, and looked like it had been completely empty for decades. But when they managed to get inside, they found something. Lying on the dusty floor was a thick stack of papers. They were printed screenshots, hundreds of them. And every single screenshot was one of Thomas Vale's own posts. Some were from forums that had been deleted years ago, places the Internet Archive couldn't even reach. Others were comments that the online sleuths hadn't even found yet. It looked like someone had been meticulously archiving their own internet history, printing it all out on paper. But on the very final page of the stack, there was a single, handwritten sentence. It said, "Once it's all gone, I can finally leave." As you can imagine, the Reddit thread absolutely exploded. Thousands of people from all over the world joined the search. The hunt for Thomas Vale was on. They tried everything to figure out who he really was. They scoured public records, combed through old email leaks, and searched for ancient domain registrations. Eventually, someone found a tiny clue. In one of his earliest posts, from way back in 2003, Thomas Vale mentioned something specific about his job. He said he worked as a data recovery technician, someone whose entire job was literally to recover lost files and digital information. This was a bombshell. If anyone in the world knew how to find and permanently erase digital footprints, it would be someone with that exact skill set. He wasn't just an amateur, he was a professional. But here's the twist. When people tried to find any official records of him working anywhere, they came up with nothing. No LinkedIn profile, no company history, no employment records whatsoever. It was as if the person Thomas Vale had never existed offline either. He was a digital ghost with no real-world counterpart. Then, just as the investigation was reaching a fever pitch, something happened that nobody expected. 3 days after the story started going viral, a brand new account appeared on Reddit. The username was simple: Thomas Vale. The account had only ever made one post. The message was short and chilling. It read, "You weren't supposed to notice." Then, mere seconds later, the account deleted itself, and that was the last confirmed activity from him, ever. To this day, nobody knows the real truth behind the story of Thomas Vale. There are plenty of theories. Some people believe he was an extreme privacy advocate, a man so dedicated to living off the grid that he decided to erase his entire digital life. Others think the entire thing was an elaborate internet art project, a piece of performance art designed to make us think about our digital permanence. But there's another theory, one that's much darker. Some believe Thomas Vale wasn't just deleting his posts, he was deleting evidence of something he'd done, or something he knew. And once it was all gone, he disappeared, too. Because after that final, cryptic post, no one has ever found another trace of Thomas Vale again. No new accounts have surfaced. No more archived posts have been discovered. Nothing. It's as if he succeeded in doing the impossible. He completely and utterly erased himself from the internet. What do you think happened? Was he a digital ghost, an artist, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more bizarre stories.